breaking the chains of Shirk, the return to Tawhid. In a small village nestled by the mountains, there lived a young man named Kamil. Kamil was raised in a family that practiced the traditional ways of worship passed down through generations. His father, Akim, was a revered elder in the village, known for his knowledge of ancient practices and beliefs. But as Kamil grew older, he began to notice something unsettling. His father often spoke of a pantheon of deities, calling upon gods and spirits for various aspects of life, be it health, prosperity, or protection. These beings, unlike Allah, were worshipped through idols, charms, and rituals that had no basis in the true faith. Kamil, though initially confused, followed his father's teachings. He participated in the ceremonies, prayed to the idols, and offered sacrifices in hopes of receiving divine favor. Deep inside, however, a sense of doubt began to stir. Was this truly the right path? He asked himself. As time passed, Kamil's father's health began to decline. Despite all the rituals, sacrifices, and offerings, his father became increasingly ill. The family sought every possible remedy through their traditional practices, yet nothing worked. Kamil watched as his father's condition worsened, his body weakening, and his spirit sinking deeper into despair. One evening, after another failed attempt at performing a ritual, Kamil sat alone in the village square, the cool night air brushing against his face. He was troubled by the situation at home and by the growing feeling that something was not right in his family's beliefs. His heart felt heavy as he recalled the teachings of the elders in the village, the ones who spoke of the one God who created everything, Allah, and the clear distinction between worshipping him alone and the sin of shirk, associating partners with him. Kamil's thoughts were interrupted by the voice of an old traveler who approached the square, carrying a simple wooden staff. He had the appearance of a man who had traveled far, but his face held a calm and peaceful demeanor. Kamil, curious, greeted the man, who seemed to be a stranger to the village. The old man looked at Kamil and asked, "Why do you seem so troubled, young man?" Kamil shared his thoughts with the stranger, revealing his doubts about the rituals and the practices his father and others in the village followed. The old man listened patiently, then said, "I see your heart is searching for something deeper, something truer. What you are experiencing is the call of Tawhid, the belief in the oneness of Allah. The way of shirk that you follow, though it may have been passed down for generations, leads only to confusion and darkness. Allah, the Creator, does not share his power with any other being. He alone is the one worthy of worship." Kamil was taken aback by the old man's words. "But my father, my people, have always done this. It is what we know. The idols, the rituals, they bring blessings." The old man smiled gently. "But those blessings are fleeting. They come with a price, the price of your soul. True peace comes from surrendering to the one who created the heavens and the earth. Allah, the Almighty, says in the Quran, say, call upon Allah or call upon the Most Merciful. Whatever name you call, for to him belong the best names." Quran 17 verse 10. You are not alone in your confusion, but Allah has given you the light of knowledge. You must seek it and return to him. Kamil's heart raced as the words sank in. Could it be true? Could all he had known be wrong? He had seen the pain in his father's eyes, the emptiness in their rituals, and yet he had always assumed this was the only way. But now, with the old man's words stirring a spark of hope, Kamil could no longer ignore the truth that was beginning to unfold before him. That night, after the old man left, Kamil walked to the village mosque, a humble structure made of mud brick and stone. He stood before the mihrab, the direction toward Mecca, and whispered a prayer he had never spoken before. "O Allah, I turn to you. I have been lost, but now I seek your guidance. Forgive me for my ignorance, and help me find the truth in you alone." The peace Kamil felt in that moment was unlike any he had ever experienced. For the first time, he truly felt the presence of Allah. The weight that had burdened his soul lifted, and in its place, there was light, a pure connection with the Creator. The next day, Kamil spoke to his father. He explained what he had learnt, that the idols and rituals were not the true way. "Father, Allah alone is the one to be worshipped. No one else shares his power. I know now that the only way to peace and salvation is through Tawhid. At first, his father was angry, and Kamil feared he would be cast out. But as he spoke more, sharing the wisdom he had received, something changed in his father's heart. Akim, though weak and frail, looked at his son and saw the truth shining in his eyes. "My son," he said softly, "I have lived my life bound by chains of falsehood. But now I see the light of truth in your words. You have freed me from the chains of Shirk. I too will return to Allah, for He alone is the one worthy of worship." In that moment, Kamil and his father both knew that they had broken free from the darkness of Shirk. They embraced Tawhid, returning to the oneness of Allah with renewed hearts. Moral of the story. This story teaches us the destructive power of Shirk, associating partners with Allah, and the importance of Tawhid, believing in the oneness of Allah. True peace and salvation can only be found in worshipping Allah alone. Shirk blinds us to the truth, but Tawhid opens our hearts to the light of faith. The story also shows us the power of redemption and the strength that comes from turning away from falsehood and embracing the truth of Allah's oneness. The chains of Shirk are broken when we return to Him with sincerity and seek His guidance.